This is a powerful place. The energy here will change you. I mean, you're not going to be the same. There's something that's going to happen, something you're going to see, something you're going to interact with, communicate with, and it's a powerful place. It's going to touch you. So
it means freedom of life. It means that it's changed a lot from government oppressions that have came down on this place.
From what I can tell, it's just this huge park that used to be run by, I guess, hippie folk back in the 60s. But now it's mostly a place where all the homeless sleep at night. And quite a few people actually go there during the day to play frisbee, walk their dogs. So it seems to be a pretty nice place during the day.
Well, the original idea was not to have a park. It was to have a place where we could have a rally, just a free speech.
This has been a struggle. This has been a land reclamation, you know. We're like the Brazilian peasants, you know. I mean, it's in a way, you know, I mean, the University of California has been eating up Berkeley. They're still full steam ahead at that game. And this was one place where they tore down a neighborhood for no good reason and left it as this abandoned mud pit, and people came out and turned it into a park. And
how it was built by the students, how it was meant to be, you know, just a regular park, but it turned into something else.
It's a space where people can be completely themselves.
This is my planet! Fucking people get down with this shit! I want to be respected when I'm here. That's what it means to me.
A lot of times in the freshman training, they tell the students to stay away from People's Park. It's very dangerous.
Yeah, they have been telling incoming freshmen not to go because, I mean, they think the homeless people are, you know, unsafe because they're on drugs, most of them.
And then they can sort of, oh, the park's not the place to go. It's all kinds of violence and everything. So it takes students, I mean, almost 3 or 4 years before they come down there.
If there's not that many students here, there's less students that come, and so it takes a sort of a student that's, you know, willing to rub shoulders with people that are different than them.
I would say a lot of naivete of my part, thinking that something like that would never happen. All we did was take this piece of land, and it was no big deal.
May 15th, 1969. Governor Reagan sent 250 CHP and Berkeley patrol officers to build a fence around People's Park.
This guy named Dan Siegel, he was ASUC president. He says, let's go down and take the park. And they cut the sound off right at that time.
The crowd responded by marching down Telegraph Avenue toward People's Park, chanting,
"We want the park! We want the park!"
So when the people get down there, my oldest kid turns on the fire hydrant right there. And then, right when that's being turned off, people from nowhere land started throwing rocks at these blue meanies. And wow, I mean, what is this? This is just a way advanced situation. Anyway, that just gave them the excuse to go down and get their shotguns.
Right.
They marched down the block where they were. And had it all set up. They had it all conveniently set up to run out of birdshot, and where they started using buckshot, and that's what killed Rector.
Yeah.
Anyway, they went around and shot 150 people, and then that gave them the excuse to bring in the National Guard, which then they brought in 2,500 National Guard. And they did just the most absurd things.
National Guard actually blocked in protesters on Sproul Plaza, flew over with a helicopter and dropped CS gas. It wasn't just tear gas, it made you puke as well.
They would tear gas elementary schools. So that really pissed off. I mean, that just put everybody on our side. It's why, in a sense, the park still exists, is because the whole town got into the struggle against the National Guard.
I mean, it was heavy. I mean, I've just read the history, but it was pretty intense. I come to People's Park once a week. I've been gardening here for many years, since the early 90s. It's really a treasure because it's one of the few places that still has claim to being common land. There's a lot of specialness here, and there's not a lot of places you can go and, you know, put in your time and your labor, and it actually, you know, betters the world for everybody, you know, and you can do that here. You can participate, and so, I mean, that's going to be the question, you know, are people just going to sit in front of their TV and be served their lives, or are they going to, you know, find ways that they can actually participate and, you know, be involved and create, you know, what they want to see in the world. And there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in this soil, you know, I mean, there's a lot of people who put energy into this park. The list is really endless of, you know, the university's sins against the city of Berkeley and the people of California. And there's a lot of stories of struggle. And in fact, you know, the struggle is still active on here. You know, the bulletin board, you know, was built and the university tore that out, and we built it again and they tore it out. And there's been a free clothing box here, the free box, that the same thing happened to. And it's still a struggle over whose land it is. You know, I mean, we're still trying to make this land better and take care of it and, you know, use it in a way that benefits people. And, you know, the university's still trying to assert that it's their land because they stole it fair and square. They have the paperwork and they control it. So, you know, they have to keep playing this weird dynamic. I mean, I think the university wishes this was sort of just a nice, polite, you know, sports arena for Cal students or something. This park is one of those little places where people came up against the university and we're holding our own. It's important to remember, you know, some people stood up and said, no, not in our neighborhood, we're taking it back.